This is a bit of a downer actually, and some bad news for XRP Ledger and the ecosystem generally. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of this actually in the news. Normally, the FOD machine jumps on anything that's remotely negative about XRP, and they go wild on social media and stuff. But I actually haven't seen much about it. It only got brought to my attention when I saw it on one of my favorite YouTube channels, Crypto with Claws. Go give him a follow if you don't already know him. He basically tells it as it is. He might rub some people the wrong way, but everyone has their own style. Anyway, so one of the most important contributors, you can call them developers, to the ecosystem of XRP and XRP Ledger have decided to leave the community, right? And they give this kind of sad interview that I read, that also Claus talked about on his channel. So I'm not going to read the entire article. I'm just also going to leave the article in the description, and I'll glimpse over it and just tell you what I feel and give my take on it. And it's kind of a, we've lost faith / internal politics / sort of insight into what's going on in the back that we're not privy to. Now, just before I read the article, the general vibe of it is that they basically feel the same as the average XRP hodler, retail hodler, who have been in the community maybe since the beginning, have done so much for the community, but seem to care more about the token than Ripple themselves. And there's an indictment of both Ripple and the XRPL Foundation. So first of all, this article obviously is quite sad. The end of an era, adieu XRP, and it's got this melancholic black and white photo, which makes it kind of like even more sad. Right, so they call Dev Null Productions, right? And it says it's time to move on. Dev Null Productions will no longer be contributing to the XRP ecosystem. Before I go into the reasons why, let's first explore some of the ways that we have contributed over the last 6 years. So that's actually quite an important segment of the article, because it shows that they're not just, the run-of-the-mill developer that's just done a few things. They've been an active member of the community, building, supporting, promoting over the years. So, there were meetup organizers, NYC, XRP. They contributed to Ripple source code, Ripple source code contributions, first amendment from the community, improved build system, Ripple analysis and necessity for the open source ecosystem, new DB analysis, XPrintel, the first independent XRP data analysis project, Know Your Gateway, the first issued token research database, Ledger City, gamification of L1 blockchain, very important, very first recipient of the XRPL grant. They're an OG, they've been around a long time. Ledger City Coin LLC, fully regulatory compliant token. Over 10,000 users signed up for early access pilot. XRP community representative and evangelist at major industry events. That's a very important role. We need the PR. Money 2020, San Francisco Blockchain Week, many crypto fintech professional meetups in NYC and beyond. So XRP visualization experiments and research, very important. Apex Talks 2021-2022, very important. Ripple Swell 2023, Ripple Drop in View, and many, many more. So as you can see, they've been around quite a while and they've done quite a lot of things. So what is the justification that they gave? Well, so far, it came to the loss of faith. They've lost faith in several things. A major catalyst for this action was the decision by the top leadership of Ripple to sell their XRP at the expense of retail investors. Even though the SEC dropped the charges against these individuals, this was a major attack on the community and ecosystem, because after all, the captain goes down with the ship. But not in this day and age, guys. The captain no longer goes down with the ship. I've been a member of many projects where the captain not only did not go down with the ship, but jumped ship days before the ship even showed any signs of sinking, and grabbed their bags and left. And the civilians and commoners and community were basically left holding the bag. So it's nothing new. This action has shown that those at the helm do not believe in the digital asset strongly enough to forsake short-term monetary gains, which are being bestowed on them off the backs of the hard-working community. Sure, they talk a good talk in front of the audience or a TV camera, but action speaks louder than words. And the lack of transparency and accountability to whom they completely owe their success to speaks louder than any prepared remarks can ever do. So basically, this part is talking about how, some of us come out and talk about manipulation in the ecosystem, like the price of XRP has been manipulated. Pretty much everybody that holds XRP and has been watching can feel that there's something wrong, right? There's some manipulation going on. But every time that we say this, someone comes out from management of Ripple, Schwartz comes out, somebody comes out, and they talk about, we haven't sold anything, we haven't dumped on retail. They debunk us, right? They tell us that they haven't sold anything since 2019. I've even seen some YouTube channels that say that, they debunk it as well. And they tend to present believable information. And I, for one, I just sort of, take it with a grain of salt. But here, these guys have a privy to, they're privy to stuff that we're not. They're clearly members of the community in the way that they've been instrumental and have had access to information that we don't have. And if someone this committed to the ecosystem says this sort of stuff, then you know that there's some truth to it, right? Especially if it compels them to leave the community altogether, then there's something to it. Again, I find it odd that I haven't seen much of it on social media or in the news. So it makes me sort of think that, there are two sides to every story. But let's carry on. But the entire fault does not lie with Ripple, rather with XRPL Foundation as well, in equal parts, if not more. Okay. For years, we've watched as the organization, which is mandated to serve the best interest of the large community, sought to prioritize their personal objectives and goals, also at the detriment of the very supportive community. That's us, right? The individuals who have been managing funds meant for the general welfare of the ecosystem have prioritized the wallet and the proprietary services sold by their private organization, have dedicated resources to a fork that does not serve the interest of those who have worked hard to build the XRP brand, and have time and time again ripped off the innovations of others and passed it as their own. That's a really serious allegation. We know it firsthand. Both the XRP Forensics moniker and initiative and the issued assets auditing efforts were pioneered by yours truly. So here they give an example of things that have been usurped or basically stolen from them. Again, big allegations, two sides to every story. It'll be interesting for XRPL to come out and comment on this as well. This exploitation and an overall closed and elitist mentality is nothing short of shameful and brings dishonor to those who are supposed to be leaders of a non-profit organization. So again, this kind of internal politics, something that we're not aware of as holders, something that we would never know until people come out and say and talk about it. Now, I've been a member of different cults, effectively, in the crypto sphere. That's pretty much what it is, whether or not it's a good cult or bad cult, we are cults, right? And what usually happens is the community isn't privy to the top level politics that's going on. You can have the best project in the world, and it is also always ruined by these egos and the politics and the people at the top. The same thing happened with Steemit back in the day. The same thing happened with EOS. Fantastic project, completely ruined by politics and ego, right? Same thing happened with so many of the other projects I've been a member of. Amazing projects, going places, no-brainer, yada, yada, yada. And before you know it, the people at the top let their own personal politics and their own inadequacies and stuff get in the way. And when the top is too influential and they're too elitist and closed-minded, it seems like no matter how great the community is, no matter how good the project is, they can be brought down by such politics, right? Anyway, this is the final bit that you guys might completely resonate with. Finally, we are sick of losing to other assets. XRP is always lagging behind in terms of performance. And as the old Wall Street adage goes, don't marry your position. And then they go ahead to say that they don't think that the coming bank adoption is going to do much for the price of XRP. So they're out. The proof is in the pudding. A good trader knows when to cut his losses, or better yet, get out when he's ahead. Not financial advice. So these guys, like many of us, are maybe in profit because their dollar cost average is lower than whatever the price is now. So they're just going to cut their losses, or in this case, get out with, while they're ahead, because they're naturally in loss. Now, personally, like I said before in previous videos, my average is lower than the current price. So I am in profit, but I'm not going to run and sell my XRP because of this. Again, the fact that I haven't seen much in terms of in the news makes me think there are two sides to a story. I'd like to hear what the other side has to say about this and not make knee-jerk reactions, but, not financial advice, as these guys say, each to their own, right? Do your own research. Here's the sad part. While we no longer will be supporting XRP or recommending it to any individuals or organizations, we still see a future for digital assets, though perhaps not 99.9% of the thousands out there. We will continue supporting our block track product, which many happy customers are able to derive utility out of, and we'll continue to explore other experimental solutions. But we largely are going to be pivoting away from the sector and instead leaning into the expert knowledge that we've acquired pertaining to 3D and game development. Let's just say we've become very proficient in our skills in this domain and have some very exciting initiatives on the horizon. As far as our XRP related enterprises, Ledger City is now all but defunct project unless we find another application of the IP or brand, and we will be letting the various XRP domains we own expire. While we'll keep the New York XRP Meetup group page alive as a testament to the accomplishment of the amazing NYC XRP community, it goes without saying that the Dev Null Productions does not have plans of running any more meetups. So it'd be interesting if somebody else could actually pick that up in a decentralized environment. That's what usually happens. I mean, if you're members of that New York group, why don't other people just step up and take control of it, right? Again, decentralized societies need to be able to work without figureheads, right? Finally, we just would like to say that there are no hard feelings. And while we encourage the community to rise up against the corrupt leadership, both Ripple and XRPLF, which squandered an amazing opportunity for their own selfish gains, we will treasure both the experience and friendships that we've made over the years. Until the next stage of that, so long and thanks for all the fish. So as you can see, they've bowed out of the community, but, like I said before, a lot of these things are insider politics that we're not privy to. And there are other validators, other developers, and other contributors to the XRPL. As you can see, it's growing larger and larger every day. They're just one group, but they're a very important group, and their insights are very valuable. Looks like they were involved in some issues with XRPLF. Who knows what happened between them? Who knows what happened with, personal projects that were, debated and argued over? Who knows what happened with pay and money allocations and stuff? Again, it's an important insight to what's going on in the inside. And these things always bother me, right? An example of a project that was absolutely fantastic that I was into before the leadership started squabbling and suing each other is Gala. And now I wouldn't buy Gala with somebody else's money, right? And see what happened with Gala version 1 to version 2 and Coinbase not giving people their money. And the whole thing has just gone to heck, right? And I always find that in these situations, it's the community that suffers, right? It's the average user that like you and me, the community, people who have put their own money, the retail people who've put their own money to support the community that always suffer. So in the coming days, I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for any response from Ripple themselves, any members of the XRP Ledger Foundation, or any fallouts from this, any other developers leaving or anybody copying or doing something similar to this. Then I should be making my decisions based on that. But for now, I'm going to make no decisions whatsoever in terms of selling my XRP or any of that. Based on whatever information I gather, I might change my exit strategy, but none of that is financial advice, of course. Just do your own research. Shout out again to Crypto with Claws for bringing this to our attention. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.